Good morning, it's Kim here at the ALS Society of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Today we're celebrating Giving Tuesday, and we're sharing stories of impact, stories of hope, and stories of inspiration. Giving Tuesday comes after the American Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Cyber Monday and so on. Tuesday we turn it around to more about what we can do for others. It's not always about financial donations. It's about being kind, it's about being of service, it's about thinking others, and for us here at the ALS Society, it's also about gratitude. Gratitude for people who help us do the work we do. And today we have one of those people with us. We have Jaime Landry she's a board member, and she's also the owner of Black Harbour Distillers in Hubbard.
Yeah.
And she uses her profile with that business to help out with the ALS Society. So thank you for coming, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, isn't that bad?
Jay, it's the same thing.
It's not really. Thank you for coming in, Jaime. We really appreciate it, and happy Giving Tuesday.
Thank you for having me in.
And you are connected to ALS because of your granddad, Don Rogerson.
Yes.
And you were young when he had ALS.
Yeah, I think he was diagnosed when I was 9 or 10.
Yes.
And then, passed away around 13 when I was 13.
Yes. Yeah. I remember Don.
Yes.
He was great fun.
My parents remembered you.
Yeah.
As soon as
He had a wonderful sense of humor.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was funny, and we would go to visit him, Terry and I, and we always came back feeling better. We were supposed to make him feel better, but he would always make us feel better. And he always had music on, and he would make us guess. He would quiz us about the music and the musician, and it was usually the Beatles, so we were usually pretty safe. Jaime, your granddad was a musician. He was a sailor and probably many other things to you and your family and many other people. What do you remember about him and about that time?
Yeah, I think before ALS, I just remember he was very active. Like you mentioned, he sailed, he played baseball. He was very close with his family down in Yarmouth. And he was always a bigger, taller guy, strong, just felt like he could do anything. And he always, my favorite memories was he took us out on his boat probably every weekend, taught us how to ski down in Wentworth, built us a big snow fort one year. Me and my sister and my parents drove down to Wentworth, and he had this whole snow fort built for us. He's always out and doing things.
Oh, that's absolutely awesome. And I think he lived with you for a little while when he had ALS.
He did. The world kind of flipped upside down. He always lived in Bedford where my family lived. And then as soon as the diagnosis happened, and he was sick a little bit before then, I just remember my parents really took him in and cared for him a lot, and he stayed with us and then lived very close to us. And then we always visited when he got into a retirement home. We were lucky to have him very close around during the whole time.
As a child, and now as an adult, when you reflect back on that experience, how did your granddad cope with ALS, and how did your family cope with it?
Yeah, I think it was weird for me and my sister were 2 years apart, and like I mentioned, I was 8 or 9 when he got diagnosed. It was the first time in my life that I've had a family member sick or passed away that I remember. So for us as kids, it was really hard to understand, because when you think of someone sick, you think of cancer or in a hospital bed 24/7, and mind is kind of gone. But this was somebody that went from super active and quick with the jokes. The jokes were still there, the mind was still there, and it was hard to see him not being able to do his favorite things anymore, and walking slower, talking slower, not being able to take us out on the sailboat and things like that. So it felt like it was not what I imagined as a kid what sickness would be. So I think that was a weird kind of mind shift. And then for my family, it was going from having for my mom a father and my dad a father-in-law that could kind of do his own thing, to then kind of seeing my parents switch roles and taking care of him. I remember as a kid that was kind of weird to see, seeing my mom then helping him feed, walking into the washroom. That was really
something that he would have done for her.
Yes.
As a child.
Yeah.
You guys, right?
Yeah. And he was always more on the quiet side, but then when he did lose his voice, he was always on his iPad, which is great. We always use the iPad to talk to him. Me and my sister were just talking about that. My sister would always steal it because that's how she wanted to then talk. But I think the biggest thing for me, like watching as a kid and kind of understanding it now as an adult, was just how it like wasn't what I think you picture in your head when a family member gets sick at first, and just knowing he was there but couldn't do his things that you thought you could always do. I guess that was hard.
Yeah. How do you think it's affected you as an adult, and why do you use your business, Black Harbour Distillers, to support the ALS Society? You did a couple of things already, and it's been amazing.
So my grandfather's the first time I got introduced to ALS, but on my mom's side, my I guess it would be her second cousin. I think he was only 36 and he passed away a couple of years ago from ALS. So for me, like seeing my grandfather, he really wasn't that old, but as a kid you think like everybody over the age of 40 is old. So I thought, not now, but I thought in my head he was older at the time, so it's like, oh, this is something that older people get. And then as soon as I've been exposed to my grandfather, we did the ALS walks. I learned all about it. We even the school I went to was great, and they taught us about ALS from knowing my grandfather had it. I thought that wasn't something that could affect younger people, and then listening to you and the stories that you told me, and then seeing other family members on other sides get it at a younger age, that was kind of surreal to me. I didn't realize that it affects so many people, especially here in Atlantic Canada. And then for me, the reason I wanted to fundraise was a personal experience, and then meeting you guys. There's a lot of amazing charities out there, but it's amazing when you can donate to one that you meet everybody in person. Your guys' gratitude towards us helping, small or big, that has been a game changer for me, and that's why I want to continue. And you see the difference it makes. Like, I know for my parents, they still remember you. Like that, to me, that's crazy because that was 12 years ago for them to remember you guys coming in. So I thought that was really cool.
Thank you. We do really appreciate it. Every dollar donated, every volunteer hour, it all adds up, and we simply could not do it without the support of our donors and volunteers. And you know, there's been people that have been with us for 20 years, both in donating and in volunteering, and that's just absolutely incredible to me. Jamie, we're doing some draws today, so we're gonna get you to make a draw, and we have in our draw bucket names of all of our supporters and volunteers, and we just want to give them a small donation, not a donation, a small gift to say thank you. So we have a little stained glass, not a little stained glass, but a stained glass on a piece of driftwood that was donated to us by Dina Davis, who does stained glass work. Her husband was responsible for all these beautiful pictures on our wall.
Oh, wow.
And she's been a volunteer for well over 10 years. So
oh my goodness.
We're just going to make the draw now. If you could make that draw.
Just pick a name from the
Yeah.
Faye Beaton.
Oh, excellent. We took care of Faye's husband. Isn't that wonderful? And she does a walk for us every year, and donates, and she's just a sweetheart. So Faye will be getting in touch with you and delivering this to you. Also wanted to draw your attention today to these snowmen, and it's a little bit of a special story. One of our clients, Bill Duff, who's on our board, makes these snowmen with a 3D digital printer. And it's really amazing because Bill has progressed with his ALS to a point where he doesn't have a lot of use of his hands or his voice, but he still last Christmas made us these. And so today, anyone who donates, the next 6 people who donate on our Canada Helps platform will make sure to get one of these snowmen out to you, and they have special meaning to us because of Bill's relationship with the ALS Society. So that's it for now. Keep checking back with us. Drop in between 10 and 12 or 2 and 4. We've got some hot chocolate and some cookies. I didn't bake them, so you're safe. So please drop in, have a tour of our warehouse. Thank you, Jamie, for coming in today. So ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, anyone's life story, anyone's love story. If you are able to donate, please go to our platform, which is canadahelps.org, or you can go directly through our website and get to Canada Helps, a secure platform, and so that's www.alsnbns.ca. Thank you, and happy Giving Tuesday.